Good morning, students. This is your 9th standard Science 2, Unit 23, Economic Biology, Part 1. Students, I hope you have all done your half-yearly exam very well. Now let's start with a new lesson today. Before starting the lesson, students, bring your textbook and follow the video. Topics to learn: Introduction, horticulture, manuring, biofertilizer, medicinal plants, mushroom cultivation, hydroponics, aeroponics and aquaponics. Students, let's study one by one. First, introduction of the lesson. The gift of nature is almost unlimited, and thus a variety of useful products are obtained from plants. True, yes or no, students? Yes, our nature is very beautiful with so many unlimited things. Economic uses of plants are varied and important in life. Economic means selling plants, crops, fruits and vegetables, growing fruits and vegetables for money, for our survival, for selling in market for other peoples to use or eat. First one is horticulture. Horticulture is a branch of agriculture that deals with cultivation of fruits, vegetables and ornamental plants. Ornamental means decorative plants. The word horticulture is derived from the Latin word hortus, that is garden. Colere means cultivate. There are four main classes in horticulture. They are pomology, olericulture, floriculture and landscape gardening. Let's see one by one. Pomology or fruit farming. The term pomology is derived from the Latin word pomum, means fruit, and logi means study. It deals with development, enhancement of fruit quality, cultivation techniques, regulation of production periods and reduction of production cost of fruits. So, fruit farming is said to be pomology, only growing fruits. To develop the quality, quantity and cultivation level of fruits is called pomology. Olericulture or vegetable farming. It is the science of growing vegetables, only vegetables. Vegetable farming can be classified into kitchen gardening, commercial gardening, vegetable forcing, greenhouse or polyhouse. Students, let us see what are they. Kitchen gardening. Kitchen gardening is growing of vegetables in small scale at household. Means growing near your house, a small garden outside your house. Growing beans, cabbage, lady's finger, tomato, brinjal, carrot, spinach, etc. The plants, the vegetables which you grow near your house are said to be kitchen gardening plants. Commercial gardening. Commercial is nothing but selling in market. It is the production of vegetables in large scale to be sold in markets. The garden which is developed in a large area, big lands, and those vegetables are sold in markets are said to be commercial gardening. Vegetable forcing. It is the method of growing vegetables in buildings, greenhouse, cold forms or under other artificial growing condition. Vegetable forcing means, for example, you don't have any land outside your house. Like if you are staying in apartments or in an individual house where you cannot grow your land, there is no place to grow fruits and vegetables. You can create a small garden on the roof of your house or nearby wherever the area is there. So you are forcing vegetables to grow in an artificial land where you make. Example, growing of cabbage, tomato and brinjal. Greenhouse or polyhouse. Poly means many. It is a framed structure covered with transparent material to grow crops. It is covered with transparent materials. You can see green color nets, where if you see on the roadside nurseries where the plants are being sold, you can see green color nets. Transparent covering will be there to some plants. Under partially or fully controlled environmental condition to get optimum growth and productivity. Some plants require very special care. So those plants are grown as greenhouse by covering with a transparent covering. It is the fastest growing sector in the agricultural worldwide. Greenhouse is the fastest growing sector in the agriculture worldwide. What are the advantages of greenhouse? Disease-free plants can be produced continuously because they are being taken with special care. So they are always disease-free. Water requirement of crops is very less. Yield is very high compared to outdoor cultivation. The production of the plant in greenhouse is more as comparing to outside production of the plant. Limited pesticide is needed. Very limited pesticides can be used. It protects plant from uncertain weather. Greenhouse protects the plant from uncertain weather like severe rains or severe drastic changes in the environment. Floriculture or flower farming. By the word only you can understand this is the gardening or the farming only for flowers. Floriculture is the art of cultivation of flowering and ornamental plants in garden for beauty or floristry. Floristry means the persons who make bouquets. So it is useful for them. If you grow flowers very beautifully, then only you can make beautiful bouquets. It is concerned with growing traditional flowers, cut flowers, bedding plants, foliage potted plants, arboriculture trees, turf grass for beautification and value added products like essential oils and pharmaceutical and nutraceutical compounds. These plants are grown to maintain the beauty of the nature. For example, if anybody has gone to Bangalore, there is a Bangalore flower garden. It's a very beautiful garden with lot of flowers. They maintain that. So that is said to be flower farming. Uses of flowers. Flowers are used for decoration purpose, functions, tradition, temples. They are also used for personal needs and religious and ceremonial offering. Personal needs means we ladies will put it on our hair. They impart color and beauty to the garden. Yes, they give a lot of beautiful colors to the garden. They increase country's economy. They increase country's economy means country's money profit. Landscape gardening. Landscape horticulture is the study of designing and constructing landscape in homes, business firms and public areas to imitate natural scenery. If you see few gardens, they are being cut with a particular shape, elephant, crocodile, peacock, human beings. So these type of gardens which are maintained in a designing way is said to be landscape gardening. Manuring or biomanuring. Organic manures are derived from plant debris, animal feces and microbes. They make the soil fertile by adding nutrients like nitrogen. What is organic manures? The falling of leaves, roots and animal feces. The unwanted waste material of animals and microbes. Few of them are here. Animal manure, compost, green manure. Let's see what are they. Animal manure. It consists of feces and urine from livestock like cattle, horses, pigs, sheep, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, etc. Manures from different animals have different qualities and different applications. Applications means advantages. Farmyard manure. Farmyard manure. It is a mixture of cattle dung, cow dung, urine, litter material, falling of leaves and other dairy waste. On an average, well-decomposed farmyard manure contains 0.5% of nitrogen, 0.2% available phosphate and 0.5% available potash. This is said to be farmyard manure which is obtained from cattle. Sheep and goat manure. Sheep and goat manure. It contains higher nutrients than farmyard manure. It contains 3% of nitrogen, 1% of phosphorus pentoxide and 2% of potassium oxide. Sheep and goat manure. Composite. Composite is a soil conditioner as well as a fertilizer that is rich in nutrients. How it is prepared? It is produced by natural decomposition of organic matter such as crop residues. Crop residues means wastage of vegetables, animal waste, food waste, industrial and municipal waste by microorganisms under controlled conditions. They will put everything like this and they will allow the microorganisms to grow and decompose it, and this is used for crops. Green manure. Green manure is obtained by collection and decomposition of green leaves, twigs of trees, that is fallen leaves, field bunds, etc. Field bund means unwanted stems. Green manure improves soil structure, increase water holding capacity and decreases soil loss by erosion. It decreases soil loss and hold the water also. It also helps in reclamation of alkaline soils. Alkaline means chemical content or minerals in the soil, and reduces weed proliferation in crop plant. Unwanted plants will be growing opposite to the crop plants. Those are not grown. It is a manure obtained from undecomposed green material derived from leguminous plants. Leguminous small plants. Examples: sunhump, Dianthia, Sesabania. Are you clear, students? Biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are substances that contain living microorganisms. When applied to seeds, plant surface or soil, they are applied to the surface, seeds or soil. They promote growth by increasing the supply of primary nutrients which is required for the seed to become a seedling. Plant surface to be very good. Soil to make the plant strong. The primary nutrients to the host plant are the biofertilizers. Types of biofertilizers. First one is Rhizobium. Rhizobium is a soil bacterium that colonize the roots of leguminous plants to form root nodules, beads-like structure. You can see beads-like structure in the roots. They are called root nodules. Why they are used? They fix the nitrogen in the atmosphere into ammonia so that the plant can utilize. Because plant cannot utilize nitrogen directly. So what this bacteria, leguminous Rhizobium bacteria, will do? It will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia in the soil and then help the plant to take. Azospirillum. Azospirillum has the ability to use atmospheric nitrogen and transport this nutrient to the crop plant. It is inoculated on maize, barley, oats and sorghum crops. So Azospirillum has the ability to use atmospheric nitrogen and transport it to the plants. So it is very useful for the plants. Azotobacter. What is Azotobacter? Azotobacter has been found to increase the yield of wheat, rice, maize and sorghum. Apart from nitrogen fixation, these organisms are capable of producing antifungal and antibacterial compounds. Not only they fix the nitrogen in the atmosphere, but they protect the plant from fungus and bacterial infections. In this, mycorrhiza is the example. Mycorrhiza, these fungi have symbiotic association with the root of vascular plants. They increase the uptake of phosphorus. What is mycorrhiza? This is the fungi which will be growing in the root, but it is benefiting the plant. It is not spoiling the plant. So it is useful for the plant if it is growing. Azolla. Azolla is a free-floating aquatic fern. Aquatic fern means green color plants. Found on water surface having a cyanobacterial symbiotic association with Anabaena. It is a live floating nitrogen factory using energy from photosynthesis to fix atmospheric nitrogen. This is present on the surface of the water. What they will do is they will absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere. They will convert it and send it to the water so that other aquatic animals don't suffer. Medicinal plants. The history of medicinal plant is as old as the history of human beings. Most medicines are obtained either directly or indirectly from plants. Students, follow the textbook. All the major system of medicine such as Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy together are called as Ayush. Use drugs obtained from plants and animals. These drugs from medicinal plants are called secondary metabolites. What are they called? Secondary metabolites. Plant produce primary metabolites for their own living. Plants, whatever they produce, example carbohydrates, amino acids, etc., are the primary metabolites of the plant. In return to that, when they are producing extra for protecting themselves is said to be secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites for protection, competition and species interaction. So primary is whatever is happening inside them, photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration. Secondary metabolites is to protect themselves from others. Phytochemistry is the study of phytochemicals, which are chemical substances derived from various parts of the plant. So few plants drugs are given here. The Tamil name is given, botanical name is given. What is the drug? Means medicine. Which part of the plant is producing this medicine and for what it is used. Katradi, aloe vera, anthracnose is the medicine that is obtained from leaves. Why it is used? It is used against cancer or skin heel wound diseases. Tulasi, Ocimum santum, essential oil is obtained from leaves. It is used for cold, fever and skin disease. Nanari is a Hemidesmus indicus, terpene obtained from roots, good for diarrhea and bacterial infection. Nilavembu, Andrographis peniculata, terpenoids, all parts of the plant are used. Mostly it is very good for dengue fever, diabetes and chikungunya. Vetpalai, Viridia tincoteria, flavonoids. This is leaves and it is used for diarrhea and swellings. Cinchona marum, Cinchona officina, quinine, bark means stem. Malaria and pneumonia. It is used against malaria and pneumonia. Sivan Ammal Podi, Rauwolfia serpentia rasperin root. It is used for blood pressure and snake bite. Taila Maram Eucalyptus globulus essential oil, leaves, fever, headache. Papali Carica papaya, papain, leaf and seed used for dengue. Nitya Kalyani, Catharanthus rhesus, alkanites, all parts of the plant are used for leukemia and cancer. Leukemia is nothing but blood cancer and normal cancer. It is used to cure these diseases with the help of these plant parts. Mushroom cultivation. Students, it is very important. Follow the textbook and this video as well. Mushroom cultivation is a technology of growing mushrooms using plant, animal and industrial waste. By using wastage of plants, animals and industrial waste only, mushrooms can be cultivated, grown. This technology has gained importance worldwide because of its dietary fibers and protein value. Mushrooms are liked by everyone and it is a very great production in the world. Why? Because it is having a high protein and fiber value. Mushrooms is a fungi belonging to Basidiomycetes. It is belonging to fungus. Underline, it is rich in proteins, fibers, vitamins and minerals. There are more than 3000 types of mushrooms in the earth. Example, button mushrooms, oyster mushroom, paddy straw mushroom. The cultivation takes 1 to 3 months. Major stages of mushroom cultivation are explained below. So the cultivation of mushroom takes 3 months. That is why it is very costly. Composting. First you have to prepare compost. We have studied. Compost is prepared by mixing paddy straw, waste material of the plants, with number of organic materials like cow dung and inorganic fertilizers. It is kept about 50 degrees centigrade for 1 week in a hot place. Spawning. Spawning is the mushroom seed. It is prepared by growing fungal mycelium in grains under sterile conditions. Spawn is shown on compost. Spawn is nothing but take some rice, sprinkle some water on that and keep it aside. You will find a fungus on that. You have to bring that rice with fungus and put it on the compost. In that only the mushroom seeds are there, because mushroom is growing from fungus. Casing. Compost is covered with a thin layer of soil. The compost is prepared, the fungus seeds are added, then it is layered with soil, means the covered with soil. It gives support to the growing mushroom. That soil will give support to grow. Provides humidity and helps regulate the temperature. The soil provides humidity, means water content. Pinning. Mycelium starts to form little bud which will develop into mushroom. So the fungus which is present on the seeds will utilize the soil and start showing buttons like on the soil. So these buttons are nothing but mushrooms. Those little white buds are called pins. Harvesting. Mushrooms grow better in 15 degrees to 23 degrees normal temperature. They grow 3 centimeters in a week, which is the normal size for harvesting. In the 3rd week, the first flesh mushroom can be harvested. After 3 weeks of this cultivation, you can harvest, means you can remove the mushrooms. Next is hydroponics. Hydro means water. So now we are going to see how to grow plants with the help of only water, without soil. Without soil, with the help of only water, how do you grow? Hydroponics is the method of growing plants without soil, using mineral nutrient solution in water. Underline, The containers are made of glass, metal or plastic. They range in size from small pots for individual plants to huge tank for large scale growing. It is demonstrated by a German botanist Julius von Sach in 1980. Underline, hydroponics is successfully employed for the commercial production. Commercial means for market of seedless cucumber and tomato. Plants are suspended with their roots submerged in water that contain plant nutrients. The roots absorb water and nutrients but do not perform the anchoring function. Anchoring means if you see the tree, it is fixed to the soil, but here soil is not there. So the plants cannot be stiff. They cannot stand straight. Therefore, the plants must be mechanically supported from above, like tying the starting point of the plant with thread. You have to give support to the plant because there is no soil to give support to the plant to grow. So you have to give support by tying a thread or a stick, by placing a stick and allowing the plant to grow to height. What is the importance of hydroponics? Conservation of water and nutrients. So some areas, if the soil is not proper to grow any crop, these type of techniques can be used to grow crops. Controlled plant growth. Everything plant growth is in our control. In deserts and Arctic regions, hydroponics can be an effective alternative method. Yes, in deserts and in high snowfall regions, these type of techniques are very useful to grow crops. In this, aeroponics. Aeroponics. We have studied land, we have studied water. Now we are studying aeroponics, that is air. The aeroponic system is the high technique type of hydroponic garden. It is more high than hydroponic. The growth medium in this type is primarily air. Underline, it is air. The roots hang in the air and are misted with nutrient solution. The roots are not in the water, not in the soil. They are hanging in the air, but the nutrients are sprayed to the roots. The required nutrients are sprayed to the roots by taking from the water. What they will do, they will add the nutrients in the water, and this water is taken by the pump and sprayed on the roots. The roots are flying in the air. So this is said to be aeroponic. As roots will dry out rapidly if the misting cycles are interrupted, a timer controls the nutrient pump, much like other type of hydroponic system, except that the aeroponic system needs a short cycle timer that runs the pump for a few seconds every couple of minutes. This is related to a pump. It is added to a pump. Why? Because if you forget to spray the water to the roots, the plant will die. So this pump is given an alarm. For few seconds the pump automatically gets on and spray the water on the roots so that the plant grows and be active every time. Aquaponics. Aquaponics is a system of a combination of conventional aquaculture with hydroponic in a symbiotic environment. Symbiotic means mutual understanding, in which plants are fed with the aquatic animals' excreta or waste. Aquaponic is nothing but growing plants in aquarium. Growing plants having aquarium in the below. Both are being given. Plants, the wastage of the fish is used for plants. So whatever the plants having in the soil, that is being washed and being sent into the water so that the fishes can eat. Then again fishes waste material is being again transported to water. This is the symbiotic relation between the aquatic animals and plants. These wastes are broken down by nitrifying bacteria initially into nitrites and later into nitrates that are utilized by the plants on their nutrients. Thus, the waste are utilized and water is recirculated back to the aquaculture system. Aquaculture system. Aquaponics consists of two main parts. What are they? Aquaculture for raising aquatic animals like fish, and hydroponic for raising plants. Green leafy vegetables like Chinese cabbage, lettuce, basil, coriander, parsley, spinach, and vegetables like tomatoes, capsicum, chilies, bell pepper, capsicum, sweet potato, cauliflower, broccoli, and eggplant can be grown in aquaponics, growing fishes as well as plants. Students, information bits. Biofertilizer scheme. Tamil Nadu government has recently launched biofertilizer scheme. It is aimed at better management of natural farming and helps to boost and maintain soil fertility. Information bits. CSIR. The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and National Botanical Research Institute and Central Institute for Medicinal and Aromatic Plants CIMAP have jointly launched the India's first anti-diabetic Ayurvedic drug BGR34, that is blood glucose regulator. It contains 34 identified active phytoconstituents from herbal resources. It works by controlling blood sugar levels. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bhim Yojana, PMFBY. It is an agricultural crops insurance scheme of Indian government. Under this scheme, the central government provides insurance cover and financial assistance to farmers. It was launched on 18th February 2016. Government of Tamil Nadu has launched Udavan mobile application. It can be used by farmers to gather information on farm subsidies, farm equipments, crop insurance and weather condition. It also provides information on available stock of seeds and fertilizers in local government and private stores. This is an app in Tamil Nadu used by the farmers to improve their cultivations. Students, I hope you all are clear with the lesson today. Next is exercise. Students, write down these questions in your science classwork and answer them by following this video as well as the science textbook. Write a short note on manuring. Write a note on types of biofertilizers. Explain mushroom cultivation. Expand AYUSH. Define pomology, olericulture. Explain hydroponics. What is aquaponics? Students, try to answer them by seeing this video as well as science textbook. In the next session, we will study about dairy farming, that is animal farmings.